In this podcast episode, Dr. William Li, a world-renowned physician and scientist, shares groundbreaking research and practical wisdom about metabolism that challenge many commonly held myths. With his expertise impacting over 50 million people worldwide through advancements in preventing and treating diseases like cancer, obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, Dr. Li unpacks the complex science of metabolism in an accessible and hopeful way. The conversation dives deep into how understanding and activating one's metabolism can lead to increased energy, sustainable fat loss, and improved overall health. Dr. Li begins by simplifying the concept of metabolism, likening it to how a car uses fuel. Just as a vehicle depends on gasoline to run, the human body relies on food converted into calories for energy. Most people, he explains, operate on autopilot, unaware of just how much their metabolism influences their daily functioning, from basic chores like washing dishes to mental activities like scrolling through social media. He emphasizes that metabolism is essentially the body's energy management system, taking in fuel and burning it to power everything we do. This analogy extends to the quality of the fuel we choose. Just as filling a car with low-quality gasoline regularly harms its performance, eating poor-quality food consistently impairs metabolic function. Dr. Li stresses the importance of selecting high-quality fuel, nutritious food, to preserve and enhance metabolic health. A large part of the discussion revolves around dispelling widespread misconceptions. Contrary to popular belief, Dr. Li asserts that everyone is born with the same metabolic operating system. The idea that some people have inherently faster or slower metabolisms is not supported by science. Metabolism is not something predetermined by genetics in that crude way. Rather, external factors influence how it functions throughout life. Likewise, common ideas that teenagers have sky-high metabolisms or that metabolism inevitably slows significantly as adults age are untrue. Dr. Li cites a landmark global study led by Herman Pontzer at Duke University which tracked metabolism in 6,000 people from infancy to old age. After adjusting for body size and excess fat, metabolism was shown to follow four distinct, universal phases. Metabolism peaks dramatically during the first year of life to support rapid growth, then gradually declines until about age 20. Between ages 20 and 60, metabolic rate remains remarkably steady, essentially flat, dispelling the myth that middle age automatically slows metabolism. Only after 60 does metabolism decrease modestly by about 17% by age 90, an amount Dr. Li describes as well-deserved with aging. Importantly, much of the perceived metabolic slowdown often blamed for adult weight gain is actually due to lifestyle factors rather than biology. Weight gain, Dr. Li explains, does not start with visible fat accumulation on the waist or thighs. Instead, it begins internally with the growth of visceral fat, the fat surrounding organs, which is much more harmful metabolically. He shares a surprising detail that even the human tongue accumulates fat early on during weight gain, particularly the back third of the tongue, which contains fat cells vital for swallowing. Excess fat here can constrict the airway during sleep, leading to snoring and sleep apnea, signaling early metabolic disruptions. Metabolism, being hardwired to store and burn fuel, stores surplus calories as fat for future energy needs. Fat cells can expand dramatically, up to 3 times their size, as they fill with excess energy. Therefore, gradual, sustained fat accumulation is common and requires patience and persistence to reverse. Dr. Li highlights not just overeating or carrying excess weight, but also less obvious factors that slow metabolism. Alcohol consumption negatively affects hormone balance and reduces exercise motivation. Poor quality or insufficient sleep, especially a lack of deep restorative sleep, hampers the body's ability to burn fat effectively. Chronic stress and anxiety keep the body in a constant fight-or-flight mode, raising stress hormones that interfere with fat burning. This is especially relevant given that many adults live with ongoing stressors related to work, family, and societal pressures, leading to metabolic disruptions. He also points out that chronic stress often leads to stress eating, which further compounds weight management challenges. Lowering stress through mindset shifts, focusing on positive emotions, and self-care is essential to restore metabolic balance. Despite these challenges, Dr. Li offers empowering insight. Metabolism can be rewired and reactivated no matter one's age or past struggles. Understanding that metabolism itself is stable and only seemingly compromised by lifestyle helps shift the focus to actionable steps. One of the most natural, research-backed methods for activating metabolism is intermittent fasting, the practice of periodically abstaining from food so the body switches into fat-burning mode. Simply put, fasting occurs naturally during sleep, enabling fat burning overnight. Extending fasting periods during waking hours can further enhance this process. Regular movement and exercise remain vital. Walking for 30 minutes daily, running if joints permit, swimming, and even dancing can significantly increase calorie burn. Even small motions, such as fidgeting, contribute positively by revving metabolism. Social engagement during physical activity can reduce stress and further support metabolic health. Mindful eating with controlled portion sizes is crucial. Dr. Lee advises leaving some food on the plate rather than following the outdated clean plate club mentality, which leads to overeating and excess calorie storage. Choosing nutrient-dense, high-quality foods further fuels metabolism efficiently. As for specific foods, Dr. Lee singles out beans, tomatoes, and onions, especially when cooked in extra virgin olive oil, as metabolism-friendly staples. These foods not only provide essential nutrients, but also support the gut microbiome and activate brown fat, a type of fat that burns white fat for energy. Quercetin, an active component found in onions and capers, helps stimulate this fat-burning process. While calorie intake fundamentally represents the fuel entering the body, Dr. Lee cautions against obsessively counting calories or macros, as this can increase stress and undermine fat loss efforts. Instead, he recommends working with a nutritionist for personalized guidance that takes into account one's lifestyle, gender, weight, and health conditions. He emphasizes flexibility, adjusting intake based on activity, not adhering to rigid numbers daily. Reducing stress around food and focusing on quality and portion control supports sustainable metabolism activation rather than short-term dieting stressors. Dr. Lee closes the conversation with an encouraging message to anyone who has struggled with metabolism or weight loss. He reminds listeners that they are not broken or abnormal. The metabolic system inside everyone is fundamentally the same and designed for health. The key lies in discovering what works personally to tap into that internal energy and metabolic potential. He urges people to stop comparing themselves to others and instead focus on their own progress. Loving your food and nurturing your body's natural metabolism is a powerful foundation for lasting health.